Good afternoon. Hello. Sorry, I was a few minutes late. I had a sudden call of nature at 29 minutes past. Farsight Enclave today. Well, I'm going to be building crisis suits. And we're going to be talking all things T'au. Because, oh my goodness me! This book is unbelievable. It's so good. It's such a good book. So, what I thought we would do today is I would build some crisis suits, but also I would answer any questions that you might have about the T'au Codex. So it's a little bit me time, a little bit you time. We all get something out of today. Good afternoon to you all out there, you wonderful, beautiful people. Hendrik Young, Laura Brand, the tattooed zoologist, Tiago, Yamail Angmar, Dutch Army Painter, Mark Watson, good afternoon, Jungle Camper, Tommy Agami, hello, how are you doing? Telkine, I hope I've said that right, I probably haven't. Jakey44, good afternoon. Stephen Walker, Fake Street Spirit, Ricky Colebrook, Kataro, James Powell, good afternoon, good evening, indeed. It might even be good morning, wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Although we'll say that towards the end, of course. Hello, Alex Smith. Texas Wargaming. Do you have a favourite piece of art that's in the new codex? Do I have a favourite piece of art? I mean, first and foremost, I really love the cover. And I love both halves of the cover. So I love this part of it. I think that's beautiful. That's an older one, I think. And then I like the back one, because I think that's a newer one. I just think this is a fantastic book. Let me just see if I can find. There was one piece I'm thinking of. I'm a sucker for the classics. You see, the slightly older ones. There's the one of the Space Marine hanging out with the T'au, which I always love that piece. That's an old one. I mean, this one's pretty fantastic. That's pretty sublime. That's pretty gorgeous. Look at that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy indeed. You know. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if it's in here. It might not even be in here. I'm sure it is. It normally is. T'au fighting some Drukhari. I wonder if this. I mean, the funny thing is, for a while, the T'au were just like the whipping boys of everybody. I think in 8th and 9th, all of the new art that we saw of people at war was just T'au being bullied, which is always quite funny. Is it in here? Oh, I don't know if it is. I might have just skipped it. Got more people to say good afternoon to. Dahi, good evening. Katara Truman Show, indeed. Flying Muttley, good evening. Lau Cannon, thanks for all the positive feedback on my Icy Lord of Change during the last live stream. Really gives me a lot of drive to keep painting. Oh man, your Lord of Change was sick. Thank you for sharing with it. Really loved seeing it. Thank you for sharing it with us. It's lovely, lovely Lord of Change. And you, sir, are an exceptionally brave hobbyist putting that model on a big rock. Honestly, I'm genuinely in awe of your courage. Intro question: are you ever worried about the paint will leak from the pots on their side? No, because it's generally a really good seal. Like you can store them upside down if you want. It might leak if you don't close it properly. Hello everybody, I hope there will be more streams of Warhammer 40k, so I like you, Josh, and Warhammer so much. There will be plenty of Warhammer 40k stuff. What colour scheme will you be painting your town? Term in gaming. So I'm thinking of doing 3 side by side. So I've done some T'au Sept, you know, the ochre colour. So I've done Dark Strider, I've done a Commander, done a Riptide. I've done 10 Fire Warriors in that colour as well. But I also have Farsight, who's really good. Really good in this book. Oh boy. I've also done Farsight, and I'd like to do some Crisis suits to go with Farsight. And then I would also like to do some Viola stuff. Get some really nice white armor tutorials going on. Can you greet me, please? I already did greet you, Hendrik, but I'm sorry. Hello. Hello, Hendrik. Alaric. I must apologise, Mr. Warhipster, for the number of different models I've just submitted for Tales. How many have you just put in? Have you put in like 60 different models? Is it gonna be the Alaric, the tale of many Alarics? Good afternoon, Gwatkin Gaming. Good evening, Nutshell. Good evening, Colonel. Sorry that I am late in question for you. Are you painting on Solar Auxilia soon? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-order some this weekend. Because pre-ordering a single box of infantry or the command squad is a lot more palatable to my bank account right now than it is to pre-ordering the entirety of the big box. Can you determine a lore-accurate reason for Farsight and Shadowsun being the same army? Love the models, but lore and that get in the way. Yeah, there's plenty, Texas Wargaming. Later on, he has turned up. So he's come to her rescue. I can't remember where, but there is a story in here of Farsight turned up and rescued Shadowsun from an early, untimely demise. And she was all conflicted about it, because on the one hand, he's a traitor, and on the other hand, he clearly isn't. He just has a problem with the ethereals, but he still loves his race. So he's not a traitor to the species, he's just a traitor to the ethereals, and it's put questions in her mind. She's still loyal, of course, but yeah, there is a story. I can't remember. Somebody here will know. Thanks again for an amazing Tale of Many Warhipsters. A true feat of endurance and enthusiasm. Oh man, Tale of Many Warhipsters. Even when it's as long as it was, it's always fun. It's because of you guys. So let's have a quick look, shall we? Make sure that this is all working. Yes, it is. Oh no, you can't see me. No! Now you can. Hello. So I've been working on this bad boy today. This is the Kroot Rider. There it is. He's nearly done. There are 3 things left to go on the Kroot Rider. So as you can see, all of the gold needs doing. There's a couple of little gemmy bits in there which also need doing, and then we've got the little markings and things on the top of the quills here, which we're going to be doing with that. But we're not going to be painting that now because I need to film it, and it's too much hassle for me to turn it off and on. Zachary, good evening to you. Thanks for your help on the video of painting salamanders. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. So the only thing you can't do in a T'au Empire army now is have ethereals and Farsight together. It's the only thing you can't do. Otherwise, do whatever you like. So hopefully, I've got one of these right here. The boarding patrol, which is nice for Josh. And of course, I did the Farsight from this box, but I didn't do the Crisis suits all those moons ago. So I'm just going to pull those out now. Good evening, Baradon. I would be remiss right now, guys, if I didn't ask you all very kindly if you could drop a like on the stream. It really, really helps me out. It's free as well. We've got 24 likes, and our first goal, as ever, is 50. And if we can get to that before 6 o'clock, that would be awesome. Our second goal after that is, of course, the best number, 69. So, yeah, no. If you could just leave... It's like I said, it's free, and it gets more people in here to come and watch and then subscribe. And then, you know, I don't have to ask you guys to become members too much, because then we get ad revenue. But if you would like to become a member, please do. That's really, really generous of you. Yeah, drop a log on the like button. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. You could drop a whole log on the like button. Why has this stopped? We've already run out of music. What music do people want to listen to? Give me some genres. I can't do bands, but give me some genres. First one in the chat, and we'll try and find it if we have it. Oh, you guys are killing it. Already on 42 likes. Psych folk. Lick, slap, smack, punch, caress, or kiss the like button. Do all of those. But also, you know, tap it with your finger or click on it. Because, you know, you don't want to get too much lick all over your screen. Discordant bell ringing. We have, in terms of folk, what have we got? We don't have any psychedelic folk, but what we do have is alternative folk, Celtic, contemporary folk, folk pop, indie folk, klezmer, or polka. It's just run out, Colonel. That's the problem. Let's go into the folk. Let's go into Folkland, shall we? And we'll just hit play. Captain Mannering's Mr. the Warhipster, Paladin the Righteous Paintbrush, enduring host of the Tailstream, and generally good Zoggin Git. Hello, sir. Have you heard zombie gnomes are coming to AOS 4th? I have not heard that. And that sounds incredible. Truly, that sounds delicious. Okay, so, guys. Lots of protein ads. Is this stream? Is that Huel fighting back? I didn't realise that's what they... Damn you, Huel! Don't advertise on my stream! I don't care for you. Have you worked on any Necromunda models in your day? No, I haven't really, Castle Rock 01. There is stuff that I have to do. So I've got some Escher, for example. I've got a box of the Escher. And they're on my list of things to do. It's just one of those things of like, I have never got around to it. Yo, Dudex, how you doing? I worry that with Necromunda it will awaken something in me. If you know what I mean. She'll give in eventually. Very good. Right, where are all my tools? There's my knife. Is that my clippers just there? There's that. Glue. Are you my glue? My glue, my glue, my kingdom for a glue. Yes, you are my glue. I'm just going to immediately clear the barrel on this because I don't want to clip stuff out, clean it up, and then discover that I have to clean it out. Best crisis suit in your opinion? Yeah, guys, so if you have any questions, I will answer in just a second. If you have any questions about the T'au Codex, I can answer them today. Best crisis suit in your opinion? I think all of them are absolutely fantastic, right? Sunforge, to me, are like probably the best ones. So the Sunforged crisis suits, they are the guys that have two 2 fusion blasters, and they also have an invulnerable save. So they have a 4+ invulnerable save straight off the bat. Now, you come in units. All of them now come in units of 3, and they've all been drastically reduced in points because of that. So they come in at 160 points, I think, and you get 3 guys with 2 fusion blasters. You can give each one 2 drones, but you can't duplicate the drones because otherwise it would be obnoxious. But what you can do is you can give each one a shield drone, which will give them an extra wound, bumping them up to 5 wounds each, and you can give each one a gun drone, giving them all an extra gun, which is really fun. So there's that. Now the Sunforged, they get the 2 fusion blasters, which are strength something. In fact, let's just look at it. Let's just look at it together, shall we? You can see it's pretty much chaos on my desk at the moment. Okay. So, Crisis Sunforged battlesuits. Here we go. So you get the 2. So you get 3 models, 10-inch moves, toughness 5, strength, save 3+, with a 4+ invulnerable save, 4 wounds each, leadership 7+, and OC of 2. They each come with 2 fusion blasters, and you can't meddle. You can't meddle with the loadout on these guys. But what they do have is they have the invulnerable save, which means they all have shield generators. Basically, what it is. Now, the other thing that they do is each time a ranged attack made by a model in this unit is allocated to a monster or vehicle unit, you can re-roll the wound roll and you can re-roll the damage roll. Now, everyone's got 2 fusion blasters, so that is 2 shots each, 4+, strength 9, AP -4, D6 damage. Which doesn't sound like it lights the world on fire, but that is 6 shots. 6 melter shots, right? When you then combine that with... And do stop me if you already know this. When you combine that with, not the Kauyon, the Retaliation Cadre, each time a T'au Empire battlesuit model from your army makes a ranged attack that targets a unit within 12 inches, improves the strength characteristic of that attack by 1. So now you've got strength 10 melter. If that attack targets a unit within 6 inches, improves the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1 as well. So now you've got strength 10 melter at AP -5 D6 damage, and you're re-rolling your wound rolls and you're re-rolling your damage rolls, which is just unbelievable. Now, hitting on 4s might sound like it's a bit of a stretch. Doesn't matter. You've got your marker lights from other units to spot for them, which will mean they'll be hitting on 3s, which is very, very nice. Now, if you make them so that they're being led by one of the commanders, here is an enforcer battlesuit, for example. Whilst this model is leading a unit, each time a ranged attack targets that unit, worsen the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1. So that's pretty good. Or Gold Star. You give them a 12-inch move, and they all get the assault ability. So you can advance your melters. You can advance your melters and still shoot them at no penalty because you've got assault on them now and you've got 12-inch move. So you might conceivably be able to go 18 inches with them. Now, why is this important? Well, Wellington. If we look at the Retaliation Cadre and we go to the Shortened Blade Stratagem, just there. 1 T'au Empire battlesuit unit from your army that is arriving using the Deep Strike ability this phase. Your unit can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 3 inches horizontally away from all enemy models. Say what? Oh, and then guess what? If you're in danger, the Torch Star Gambit. 1 T'au Empire battlesuit unit from your army that can fly whose attacks have been resolved this phase. If your unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move. If it does, your unit cannot declare a charge this turn. So, we can throw down our crisis suits within 3 inches away with 6 melter guns, and if you've got, well, fusion blasters, and if you've got a commander involved, you can give that commander 3 fusion blasters if you want. So we've got 9 fusion blasters altogether. You can be 3 inches away, you can be hitting on 3s, you can get re-rolling wounds, re-rolling damage. It's all going to be melter 2 at that point, and then just for 1 CP, you float away 12 inches in the opposite bloody direction. So that's very, 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 very good. Very good. You really liked my submission to tell him... Oh, Captain Mannerings. Oh, hang on. Hello, the Mini Creative. Someone's getting compliments. So, guys... That's just the Sunforge battlesuits. Now let's examine the Fire Knife battlesuits. Fire Knife battlesuits exactly almost the same, but what they don't have is they don't have the invulnerable saves. This is where your Enforcer commanders come in for that -1 to enemy armor penetration characteristics incoming towards them. Similarly, again, they can all take 2 drones, no duplicates, so they can each take a shield drone to make them 5 wounds, and they can each take a gun drone, so they get a different gun. We get a missile pod and a plasma rifle. However, as you can see there, you can exchange the plasma rifle with a missile pod, or you can exchange the missile pod with a plasma rifle. So you can have 2 plasma rifles or 2 missile pods. Basically seasoned to taste, whichever you like. As you can see, the plasma rifle, 18-inch range, 1 shot, 4+, strength 8, AP -3, damage 3. It's a very good gun. It's great for killing elite infantry. The missile pod is great for giving them some extra range at 30-inch range. Now, if you see there, Fire Knife, each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. So inbuilt rerolls. If that attack targets a unit that is at its starting strength, you can reroll the hit roll instead. Which is just gross. So, any units that haven't been touched yet by your shooting, shoot these guys at it, you're rerolling to hit. That's just very nice. Very, very, very nice. And again, they can be led by a commander, either an Enforcer or a Cold Star, or indeed Mr. the Farsight. So, let me show you what Commander Farsight does. Commander Farsight, here he is. Way of the Short Blade. Whilst this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit adds an attack that makes an attack that targets an enemy unit within 9 inches, add 1 to the wound roll. Yeah. Once per battle round, you can target this unit with a stratagem for 0 CP, and you can do so even if you have already targeted a different unit with that stratagem this phase. So, Commander Farsight. Commander Farsight with those guys, +1 to wound, means now they become a reliable vehicle hunter. Because at strength 8, even at toughness 12, you're still wounding on 4s. Still wounding on 4s. And anything less than that, you're wounding on 2s, basically. They're very, very good. However, he also works really well in there. Because again, retaliation cadre, you've got your strength 10 melter. So you're, toughness 12 vehicles, you're wounding on 5s. But you put him in there, +1 to wound, 4s to wound, and you're re-rolling wounds and damage against monsters and vehicles. It's very, very nice. Now, lastly, this is the one that I think some people have gotten a little bit upset about at times. And I initially didn't rate them, but now I really do. So the Crisis Star Scythe battlesuits. Each one comes with a burst cannon and a T'au Flamer, and I think that is how you should run them. You can replace the T'au Flamer with a burst cannon, or you can replace the burst cannon with a T'au Flamer. So you can take 2 flamers or 2 burst cannons, but I think you take 1 of each on these. Now, for each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack, excluding attacks that target monsters and vehicles, improve the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1. So everything goes up to AP 1, which is very, very good. Then, Retaliation Cadre, again, just to remind you, each time a T'au Empire battlesuit model from your army makes a ranged attack that targets a unit within 12 inches, improve the strength characteristic of that attack by 1. If that attack targets a unit within 6 inches, improve the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1 as well. So now, when you have your battlesuits here, you're going to be putting out, from per unit of 3, you're going to be putting out 12 burst cannon shots if you're in range of the 12 inches, or if you're in range with the 6 inches, you're putting out 12 burst cannon shots at strength 6, AP -2, damage 1. T'au Flamers, you're putting out 3d6 shots at strength 6. Sorry, the burst cannon will be strength 7. No, strength 6. The T'au Flamers will be strength 5, AP -2, damage 1. I mean, come on now. And then you can give each one a commander. And to round it all off, guys, points values. We'll just do this before we have any more questions. If anyone has any more questions, please do feel free to put them in. Crisis Fire Knife Battlesuits, 165 points. Fire Knife being the plasma and the missile pods. Star Scythe Battlesuits, 140 points. They're the burst cannon and flamer ones. And the Sunforge one, 160 points. They're the twin fusion blasters. And as you can see there, the commander, who can only add more gun and also give you a pretty decent benefit, 125, 135. So an enforcer battlesuit with some fire knife battlesuits is a nice round 300. Take 3 units of those for 900 points. That's three enforcers and 9 fire knife. Or you could do 3 cold stars, etc. With Sunforge, 285. Either way, there is a way to get roughly 27 battlesuits into this army. They are very, very, very good. Now, if anybody has any further questions, we will get into it. Good afternoon, James Matthias. The hell is Star Scythe bar a cool name? Star Scythe is it's just a cool name for burst cannons and flamers. You guys have crushed it. 51 likes, and we got there before 6 o'clock. I did notice it. Can we get to the next one of 69? Nice. Hello, I'm really trying very hard not to buy the Kroot box. I don't need another 40k, but this damn book. The book is really good, James. It's really good. The thing that makes me excited about them is it's very different to how I normally play. I always play with combat armies, but these guys are a very aggressive, almost combat army, but they want to stay about 3 to 6 inches away, especially if you play it super aggressively with crisis suits, which is how I think they're intended to be played, which is very, very exciting. So they're not a million miles away from how I like to play, but they are slightly different. You don't want to get caught in combat. You want to kill stuff. Just at that short range, which is really, really fun way of playing the game, because it's got all that kind of added risk involved. It's not standing at the back in a castle anymore. You can do that, but you're not using the army to its full potential. Hello, below average minis. Well, and this is the thing. The Kroot are also very good. There is a very, very cool way of playing the Kroot. So that's what's really exciting to me about this book, is that there are 4 different ways to play in it. Completely different ways of playing in it. You've got the Montcar and Kauyon, one which encourages more patient play and kind of setting up in the form of the patient hunter. And then you've got the killing blow, Montcar. I think that's the right way around. They're both like so one is all about the alpha strike, and then your benefits tail off towards the end of the game. So you get lethal hits in turns 1 to 3, and all of your weapons get assault when guided. I think is the is the full rule, which is just very, very nice. The other one is the sustained hits one, which is the one that's in the index right now. What's the T'au Combat Patrol? I will go and check out in just a minute. TN Trash. Hi, Josh and Hipsterites. We're hoping all is well for all. I'm very well, thank you. Timo, greetings to you from the UK. Yeah, the old T'au Castle is I mean, you can still play it that way. You're going to be leaning more into like broadsides and hammerheads, who are also, you know, hammerheads and sky rays are really good in this book. So there is that way of playing, but you are actively encouraged now to play them in a more dynamic, exciting way. Did GW gift the new box to you? They did indeed. So I've been working on this guy, 999888. So this is the Kroot Rider. It's on its way. Below average minis. Do you already have some T'au? Yes. So I've already done. I've done Commander Farsight in the Farsight Enclaves colours, obviously, and I've done some T'au Sept. So it's the classic ochre. You can find videos for all of that here on YouTube right now. But I'm thinking I will add some Viola to it as well, which is the white ones. I was thinking about doing like my own custom one, but like I just really like the classic schemes, as you know, so I probably won't do that. So these guys will be Farsight Enclaves, for example. Hey, Stick Monkey, how you doing? We need component number 8 now. Ba-doo, 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 ba-doo. Haha. Hello, Thomas. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Do you remember your first model? Something from 3rd edition? I do. My first model was a Necron Warrior. One of the first like free metal ones that came in an edition of White Dwarf. I just had it. Which way around does it go? That way. Haha. I know what I'm doing. Body. Right, we need 43. I'll get this body built and then I'll check the combat patrol for you. We need 43 and 42. That's you. I mean, very technically, one of my first ever models was a Supermarine Spitfire from a classic Airfix kit. That my dad and I did together. Many, many years ago. I was like 5 or 6 years old. Which I might do a video on it. What was the question? Will all Kroot be viable army build? Yeah, oh yeah, no, 100% it is. Oh, my dad is not a pilot. My dad is a psychologist. I think the all Kroot army. It's interesting. Titan said that because I think. I mean, yeah, it's gonna take quite masterful play. So I don't think the meta is suddenly going to shift to all Kroot. However, I think I mentioned this in my video, the army set video. If you guys remember the in 8th edition, there was a list with plague bearers where you ran 120 plague bearers. If you run 120 plague bearers, yeah, you absolutely can do that. And that's what the Kroot will do. Is they will spread out, they'll capture all the objectives, and they'll just make it really awkward and annoying to capture objectives back. So they'll beat you on secondary and primary play, because they've got stratagems to recycle units. If you take them in units of 20, they can take 2 characters, and the 2 characters are just really good. So you can give them both a War Shaper and a Flesh Shaper. At range, they have a 5-up invulnerable save in the Kroot hunting pack. They have 5-up invulnerable save at range and 6+ invulnerable save in combat if you take them in the Kroot hunting pack. You can attach the War Shaper and the Flesh Shaper, and the Flesh Shaper gives them a 6-up Feel No Pain. If they kill something in melee, they then get a 5-up Feel No Pain, which is very, very good. But I think he also gives them... One of them gives Infiltrate or something like that. Which is just objectively very good. Pretty much everything in the Kroot stuff has a scout move or something to that effect. So you can make them actually oppressively tough. They're all OC2 as well. So it's not gonna like I said, like you said there, that they're not the thing they will struggle with is beating heavy armor or anything like that. But they don't have to. They can just outlast you and just beat you on points. So it's like that plague bearer list used to do. The plague bearer list didn't kill stuff. What it did is it just occupied the board in an obnoxious way, and then it just outlasted you. Because the plague bearer list used to have obviously disgustingly resilient, and it used the trees and stuff to get the mobility in order to capture the board. Because the Nurgle's weakness used to be that they were really slow, but the trees would make them fast. You use the heralds to make them even faster, and so on and so forth. There we go. So there we go. That is one one backpack now fully built. So, back to answering questions. You wanted to know what the combat patrol was. So the combat patrol in here is the Sudden Dawn Cadre. Oh no, that's way too close. Absolutely, stick money. It will be a really, really fun way to play the army. So there we go. That's the Dawn. That's the patrol. So 10 Pathfinders, Commander Cloudspear, a Breacher team, and a Devilfish. It's not great. It's not the best I've ever seen. It's okay. And I didn't. Best way to unclog the needle for the plastic glue, please. Yes, Fabian. Best way to do it. The way I found. Let me get an old one. Get yourself a lighter, a cigarette lighter, or a fire lighter, and an old pair of clippers, something to hold it with. What you can do, like this, right? You can then use lighter, and then just like this. And you just move it across it like that, and then eventually you should be able to see daylight through there. Although, you know, it's going to be quite hard to do. Let me just check it. Yep, that's clear. Best way to do it. Careful. The reason you use a pair of clippers is so you don't burn yourself as you hold it. New to town, just ordered the Kroot box. Is there much lore in the Codex, or do you know any good books? Because hopefully try and tie my models to the lore. The Farsight series is very good. I like that. Crisis of Faith, I think it's called. Paul, I'm in a right hobby funk at the moment. Make me paint. I can't make you do anything, Paul, but one thing I would say to you, buddy, is that when you do paint, everything that comes out is beautiful. So whilst the inspiration might not be there right now, it will come. And when it does, you'll produce something magnificent, as you always do. Because you're a magnificent person. And a magnificent painter. And if you don't feel like doing it right now, that's okay. But when you do, it'll be wonderful. And that goes double for everyone out there as well. If you don't ever feel like painting, just remember, you are a better painter than the rest of the world who hasn't painted. Right, these are a pain in the arse to do. I haven't built a crisis suit in about 10 years, so I can't remember if they're annoying. Are you still planning on doing a video for that Inquisitor stabbing the book, Josh? Yes, I am. What Skaven mini are you hoping gets a big glow up in 4th edition? To be honest, just all of it. I'm just looking forward to seeing what they do. Because for me, it's like, it's so hard to predict what they do. I mean, I'm guessing rat ogres and stuff like that are going to get something. Maybe even the storm vermin, but they're not that old, to be honest. I suspect what you'll see is mostly things like troops and characters get glow-ups. And there might be one or two like new characters and things like that as well. Because some of it still really stands out. Like the Plague Bell still looks great. Maybe the Warpstone Cannon things. They'll get something. I'm just excited to see what they do, honestly. Like the really boring stuff like Clan Rats and Storm Vermin and stuff like that. Will you paint the Gnome Blood Bowl team? Fake Street Spirit, yeah, if they send it to me, definitely. And if they don't, I will pick it up. Have you painted Skabbik's Plague Pack? I haven't, Captain Crunch, but I think I have it somewhere. If I do, and we find out that Skaven are indeed coming, then I will paint them up in the build-up. I'm basically waiting for confirmations of 4th edition being on its way, and then I'm in this zone where like I'm really excited for 40k, but AOS is about to ruin that. So as and when they do that, I'm kind of tempted to just to redo them, just to do them. Just to do AOS until it comes out. Can I tempt you to do Zandire's Truth Seekers at some point? You can, Cameron, because I've got them somewhere. I do have them somewhere. So that is something that we can definitely get on the docket to do. TN Trash, thank you very much for becoming a member. You are our first new member of the day. You're my favourite. Number 11. Component number 11. Oh, there's a little groove on it. That's okay. What is your army of choice from AOS to play with? Well, I have many. So recently I have played games with the old I've played games with the Stormcast. I've played games with the Slaves to Darkness. I really enjoyed with Slaves to Darkness. I really liked Fulgoth's Shudderhood, which was the army of Regiment of Renown from the Dawnbringers book. It's really nice, and it's the one with the somber horse, the Harbinger of Decay. It was really, really good. Oh, hold on now. Guys, thank you very much for the gifted members. TN Trash, or TNT Rash. Thank you very much for the gifted member and becoming a member, of course. And then Stick Monkey, thank you very much for the one gifted member. That puts us on 376. So if we find 24 more, we'll be on a nice round 400. And we're 3 likes away, guys. 3 likes away from the magic number of 69. Nice. Yes, you are, Kataro. Thought I would get the ball rolling. You did get the ball rolling, TN Trash. That is very kind of you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. TN Trash. Okay, let's do that. TN Trash. Yamail Angmar with a 12 months. 1 year together, looking forward to discovering what new wonders coming forth and your guides for it all. Oh yeah, baby. You and me both. I'm so excited for it. However, what I am going to do is I'm going to, as a very nice man on the internet said, that I'm basically just a mouthpiece now. And that my opinion is meaningless. I am going to before AOS 4 launches, I'm going to sit and do a like an opinion cleanse for myself, so that I can approach it without a clouded judgment, and I can be like, listen. These aspects of the game I don't like. These aspects of the game I love. These models I think are fantastic. The build, sprue review quality of review based on the actual contents of the box. So, I'm gonna try my best to do the most kind of be as I might even be as I might even end up being overly critical, you see. But, it is what it is. Can't do anything about it. But ultimately, I don't think I said thank you to Yamail Angmar for a year's worth of membership. That is very, very, very kind of you, sir. I love our relationship. It's our anniversary. We'll be celebrating with more tutorials, I'm sure. With the Skaven update, the old Skaven models are really suffering through some units hold up. Updating troops, elites, and artillery would go a long way. What are your hopes and fears for Stormcast? My hopes for Stormcast are genuinely that my main one is that the prosecutors get an update, because the prosecutors just look a bit stupid now when you put them next to things like Indrasta. And I get what they were going for when they first did them, but I don't think it works. So I'm hoping prosecutors get an update, and if prosecutors get an update, I hope that the Azeroth and the Venator also get an update. And as a consequence of that, I really want a brand new Celestant Prime. I think the Celestant Prime is fine, but it's not the best. It's not the best model that it could be. And if you think of where design of Stormcast has gone since it first came, since that model first arrived on the scene, they could make something absolutely bonkers. Now, what I do fear slightly for the Stormcast is that it's all just re-releases of models. So they've already talked about how there's going to be new Liberators. That was already mentioned in the Realms of Ruin coverage. So there was an article where they've even used the new Liberators. And it's like, okay, cool. So we're probably getting new Liberators. That's fine. Does that mean we need new Judicators, new Paladins as well? I don't know if we do. The Paladins, like the Retributors, Protectors, and the Decimators, I think is what they're called, is what it's all called. They're all fine. I think the Paladin models are absolutely fine as they are. However, I do worry slightly that it is going to be just all new, all redesigns. Because that will be something that I will be very critical of if that is the case. The Stormcast don't need a bunch of new stuff. That's where it gets difficult for them. Because theirs is already a very, very thick book, and I think Games Workshop is somewhat conscious of having too many data or war scrolls in a single faction. So I'm going to be very interested to see what they do. Probably new Vandus would be sick. Well, yeah. So then we get into the realms of there doesn't need to be a new Star Drake, but we could do with new Dracothian Guard. You saw that comment, did you, Cameron? Yeah, no. I screenshot that one and sent that one to Adam and said, there you go. It does, and as Captain Manu says, it does mean that I've made it, to be fair. Right, we need to glue the feet on. And I feel like this bit is where it gets irritating. So we're just going to put glue in here. And glue in here. And we need a base as well. And they go that way round. They definitely go on 50mm bases, don't they? I'm pretty certain this is a 50mm base. We shall find out. What would you think of a Catacross-esque prime? I mean, that would be cool. Yes. That is the 50mm base. So the thing to do here when it comes to these, I'm remembering it now, is just to shift all of this out of the way for a moment. Put the base there. Then what we need is we need 1 foot like that. 1 foot like that. And then we use this to get them flat. And facing the right direction. That looks about right to me. Oh no, that one's slipping now. I might just glue these now down to the base. Because what we don't want are crisis suits that are leaning back. You see what I mean? We want them standing bolt upright. Which this guy looks to be doing. Yes. Do you think GW are worried about doing a Space Marines with them, where they end up with too many data sheets that they end up having to cull? Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being something that they bear in mind, because at a certain point the faction becomes really unruly. Lord Commander Joe, good evening. Would you recommend Agaros Dunes for sand/desert color? I'm making my color scheme for my Votan at the moment, and I'm using the Freeman Suits Dune and the Rebel Alliance as inspiration. Yeah, Agaros Dunes is really good for a sandy desert type thing. Skeleton Horde is a little bit paler. If you want to go a little bit paler sand, Agaros Dunes is a really nice middle ground. If the rumours turn out to be true and we get a new Chaos Lord with jump pack, any chance you plan on painting him in a scheme other than Black Legion? What scheme would you like to see him in, Croatoan? Is it even a crisis suit if it isn't leaning back a bit? You're not wrong. If Henry Cavill's show is around Horus Heresy, which Primarch do you want to see him play? None of them, Daniel. I don't think Primarchs belong on the small screen. I don't want to see I don't want to see a television show based in the Horus Heresy. But if it is going to be based in the Horus Heresy, I don't want there to be any Primarchs in it. I don't think that's right for the show. It's way too it requires way too much previous knowledge to understand what the hell is going on in thingy. A Shazvray, that's the commander, isn't it? That's the sergeant, isn't it? Yes. So we need component number 4. We don't actually need this sprue. What are you going to base your Tau/Kroot? Probably, as I usually do. Just like Sterling Mud or something. I can't remember how I've done them in the past. What component is it? Number 4. Oh, of course, I've built the wrong one. And that's the slightly enforcery bit. So we'll go with just component number 1. We'll put that on there, because that's what the number is on this sprue. An Inquisitor series. I think that would work better. I think you need to have a smaller story. I don't think you can put Space Marines into it. The problem most the problem most like IPs like Warhammer have, right? And I include Star Wars in this, is that if you establish characters as being too powerful or too underpowered, or enemies as being too powerful or too underpowered, straight at the beginning, it then becomes unbelievable when they kind of act more lore accurate. So if you put Space Marines into a TV show right at the beginning, then you've got yourself a problem right there, because you're starting with what is the most elite warrior in the galaxy, right? So then what do we have? Do we have Space Marines just fighting other Space Marines and getting blown away left, right, and center? Because it becomes unrealistic to remember the show isn't for us. The show is for people who don't know about Warhammer. That's what the show has to be geared at. The show has to be written for somebody who doesn't know much about Warhammer. It can't just be written for people who know everything about it already. Because if it is a show that is just for people who already know the entire story, people will just be mad regardless of what they do. So you need to do a lot of world building, and if you do that from the perspective of the Space Marines, it's just bolter porn basically, and you don't want to see that. Daniel, you are part of us. You are one of us. One of us. One of us. Did you see that Gary Oldman was up at GWHQ last week? I did not. That's really cool. What colour scheme would you paint a Dreadsaurian? That is a random question. I don't know. I'd have to have a look at it. Give me some time. Let me finish this page. We need 17 and 18, so we're just going to start. Oh, does it matter? Yes, it does. 17. Because it goes that way round, doesn't it? Because there's the 17 and 18. Tarek Alatrak, what do you think the ideal pitch / plot would be? IG Inquisition. I think you just need to. I think you need to place the show in such a way where you have a character that is relatable, that is learning about the Warhammer 40,000 universe alongside the audience. And the best way to do that is through the eyes of either just a civilian or somebody who's just been conscripted. Minka Lesk would make a great example of a character that would work in a TV show. If you think of Minka, if you've ever followed the Minka Lesk stuff, where I think she's a lieutenant now or something like that in the story, but she starts as a conscript on Cadia, and I believe, I could be completely wrong. Somebody will correct me. You need a character like that who has to learn about the universe. So you have to have somebody who's going to teach this person about, you know, what's going on in the world. But the character that you're going to relate to has to be the one that learns about the state of the galaxy. You can't go in there as, you know, Lord Solar Leontus and just be like, I already know everything there is to know. Off we go, lads. Big battle scene, so on and so forth. So you need it to be, so, you know, mortals is where it makes sense. You can maybe put 1 or 2 Space Marines towards the end of the show to represent a jump up in power. The Space Marines need to represent hope and also fear at the same time. So you don't, if you sit with the Space Marines as main characters, that does not, as we as people who consume Warhammer 40,000, Space Marines are as Space Marines do, but to the denizens of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, a Space Marine is both terrifying and also hopeful. If the Space Marines are the main characters, you're establishing that as the baseline. Because Space Marines spend most of their time bullying mortals. Indeed, there will, Laura, and that is a shame. Because it's stupid, especially in the universe that they inhabit. Um, like that, yeah, that looks good. Um, but like I said, this it's a show that needs to be, of the 84 people concurrently watching right now, it's a show that needs to not appeal directly to all of us. It needs to appeal to the 200 million users or whatever it is of Amazon Prime. So it's not going to be. I'm sure it'll have elements of super creep and super grimdark, but it's also not going to be, it's not just going to be endless torture for 12 episodes. It's not going to be that, and it shouldn't be that, because if it is that, then no one's going to watch it, other than like the very narrow part of the people who insist things are a certain way and they cannot be any other way. I hope the rest of us can be ready to call them out on it and show some good, healthy support. I'll be right there with you, Laura. I think the thing to bear in mind is like about the show when it happens, if and when it happens. The thing to bear in mind about it is that it's a Warhammer show being made in the mainstream, and that's a huge deal, regardless of the quality of it. That is a big thing. It shows it shows like 11, 12. I mean, 6-year-old, 12-year-old me. Back when nerds weren't cool, back when doing this kind of thing was not a cool thing to do, before the internet and the rise of things like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, and comic book movies and stuff like that, it wasn't a cool thing to do at all. And Warhammer was very much a part of that. And this happening, regardless of its quality, is a huge step forward in the acceptance of tabletop wargaming. And I think we should all be very, very excited about it from that perspective. As to the quality of the TV show, it should be judged on the quality of the TV show, not on the quality of Warhammer 40,000. Because if we judge it based on the quality of Warhammer 40,000, it's not going to work. Same as if you try to if you try and put like if you look at things like any fandom, right? Any fandom gets really cross when it's not as directly 100% accurate to the book that they've read, and that's just silly because your thing is being seen by more people. You should champion the thing that you loved about it in the first place anyway. So if people see the TV show and they go, hey, I really enjoyed the TV show, I'm interested in Warhammer 40,000 now, you can go, hey, well, if you like the TV show, that was let's say it's not as grimdark or dark as people perhaps might want, you can say, well, it can get really creepy here. Debaconator, have the Tau Phi Warrior or the Crisis Sculpts been updated since they first came out in 3rd edition? I see the boxes have, but can't really tell if the models have. Yeah, they've been updated since they first arrived. That they're a little bit more dynamic than when they first came out. They got a slight update in like 5th, I think, something like that. But let's be real. People are going to be mad that it's not just going to be 12 episodes of a Slanesh cult doing whatever they want. Warhammer 40,000 is all about this. It's actually not. It's about many, many different things to many, many different people. Yeah, as hard as it is to believe. There's lots of different facets to Warhammer 40,000. So remember, regardless of its quality, people are going to hate it. People have already made their minds up that it's going to be terrible because of it being Amazon, and all the people who didn't like Rings of Power. Were there aspects of Rings of Power that I didn't like? Sure. Did I think it was a terrible television show? No, I thought it was perfectly fine. But remember that Amazon also saw the potential in things like The Expanse. A great way to announce the Emperor's Children Codex. Yeah, Alice and I were watching The Expanse, and we stopped because of something. I can't remember why. And we're like, we keep saying to ourselves, we need to go back and finish The Expanse. But yeah, like I said, just remember that it'll be better than what people on the internet say it is. Will it be great? I don't know. We'll find out on another exciting episode of Is This Any Good? Are there any grainy shadows on the camera for anyone else? Oh. Where are you seeing a grainy shadow? Cameron. Where are you seeing one? So I can see if I can just deactivate and reactivate. Right underneath your hands on the cutting mat. Here. Do you mean round here? When you had your hands cupped? Like that? Oh, yeah. I'm seeing that now as well. Okay, hang on. Let me try. Okay. That's fixed it, right? Yeah. Cool. Maybe that was warp fire and you're keeping a new weapons team right off your screen. Did you turn it off and on? Captain Mannerings. Yes. I turned it off and on again. You caught me. 30. We need component 30. And we need component 29. It was a Cthulhu portal. Yeah, I just think I think it was just having a funny 5 minutes. Just reset the lens. It has been fixed, by the looks of things. Thank you for pointing that out, because that could have been disastrous if I'd come to film later and I'd just been like, oh god, it's all ruined. Guys, you've crushed it on the likes front. We're on 82. Can we get to 100 likes? That would make my little day. I'd like to pretend that I appear knowledgeable about cameras, but I'm really, really not. I was getting really frustrated editing that Kroot video that I put out yesterday. No, Saturday. Because the color grading was all off. It was just being really annoying. And it was just because I needed to set a standard white balance. That was all. So now I have. Hulk smash the like button. Hey Dale, you're never late. A Dale is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Right, I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to see if we can... Well, I'm going to see if I can do it first of all. So I'm gonna see if I can get five of those grey names into green. So there we go. There you go. So now, if you haven't already, Daniel, for example, if it's your first time with a membership, you can join us in the Discord. Oh, Daniel Talpas, thank you very much for the 5 gifted. There you go. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. How much excited for AOS 4? 4th are you? Any guesses on AOS revealed models? I'm very excited for it. I own a Cryptborn. I was very excited when your model came out. you can gift like 5 members a month or something like that. Just to try and snipe some people. It's a very new feature. They only added it like a month or 2 ago. There isn't a Discord alert. To join the Discord, it should be in your thingies. What's it called? The channel benefits on the channel page. YouTube hack, gift 500 subs to your own channel. I mean, yeah, you could do that. That is one way to get some subs on your channel. The problem with that is if you were to gift yourself 500 memberships, you're basically you would because YouTube takes 70%. A 70% share. Hang on, how does that go on? Let's just do that. Sorry, yes, YouTube takes 30% and we take 70%. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I got that completely the wrong way around. Okay. I'm going to make this guy double fusion. That's what I'm going to do. Fusion Blaster. We're going for Sunforge, guys. Sunforge will be the first. The first of many. Yeah, no. YouTube takes 30. 30%. Not 70. That would be awful. Are we going to kill all the raps? Hope Vandus will be back. Yeah, I mean, like... I'm just really excited for AOS 4. I'm not entirely certain what is going to happen, and it's impossible to predict it. As people have mentioned already tonight, there is a possibility for Demon Prince Corgus Cool, which would be very cool. I suspect that there is at least one more Dawnbringers book left to go. But either way, there is going to be many, many tutorials for AOS in the future from Warhipster. There will be many, many more. I think this year we're going to cross over to 1,000 videos. You know, usually when a box like that comes out, we end up with, you know, something like 30 videos that come out of it anyway. I'm thinking I might use AOS 4 as well as a jumping off time to as a jumping off point to start doing a lot more battle report content. There is a disturbing lack of it, Lil May Rose, and there will be much more of it to come. Fusion Blaster. Fusion Blaster. Right, so we need... At what point does the head go on? Oh. Uh, 46. Also a disturbing lack of Thranduil on Elk. I've been checking it. Is it back in stock now? I have your donation set aside, Baradon, in my budgets. To pick him up. Still out of stock. Oh, what a bum. Okay, we need 50. We need something. Do I have to transfer to a different sprue for this? Oh, 53 is fine. Yes. No, I do not. Are you going to play a list with Farsight, Crisis, and Kroot? Is this the new combat patrol? No, Dale. This is the old boarding patrol that I'm building up. Because Games Workshop sent this to me ages ago with Farsight, and I didn't do any of the... Are you streaming the reveal show? I will be Wiggles Bottom. I can't remember what piece I just cut off. 53. $52. Yes. Thank you, Stick Monkey. And now I need component number 52 as well. Ugh. Manlings want the grey hipster to paint some scrawny rat-out slaves. Yes, yes. Yes, it's going to happen, Voland. If indeed Skaven are the rumour. We don't know yet. It's not 100% confirmed. I mean, it seems like it probably is definitely confirmed, but it's not 100% confirmed yet. We shall find out, I'm sure, on Wednesday night. So, what I will be doing is I'll do my usual stream on Wednesday at 7. No, not 7:30. That's not normally when I go live. I go live at 8:30 usually. So we'll do an 8:30 stream where I will probably do some hobby or something, or maybe we'll do a talking head. Probably do some hobby, because then at 3 o'clock in the morning, or whenever it is, we shall be back live on Thursday with the Adepticon reveals, where we will stream them together. We'll look at them live. Come here, little bunny ears. Perfection. Are you going to make a video about the crisis and what colour? Yes. So my plan is to do T'au Sept, Viola Sept and Farsight enclaves. Does the shield generator work on the back? Why do I feel like it doesn't? It is component number 68. The models for Wednesday will be the last Dawnbringer models. Yeah, for sure. No, they'll preview the last Dawnbringers book. I'm pretty certain. I think we'll get a Dawnbringers model or two, and then we will also get one or two for AOS 4, or there'll be another like big teaser trailer like they've done so far, where you'll see some stuff. Can you show us your Farsight, please? You have painted amazing. I have mine already started because I have to be ready for my Kroots. I'm not sure where he is. If I can remember where he is, I'll go and get him and you can have a look at him. Right, does this work? Or does it look kind of stupid? It looks kind of stupid, doesn't it? I mean, ideally you put it on one of the arms, right? Yeah, it does just look a little bit stupid. Okay, well, I will sit and debate that. Yeah, it does look a bit strange, doesn't it? Well, we built a crisis suit. It only took us an hour and a half. We are 1 like away, guys, from 100 likes on the stream. We are also 14 members away from around 400. And I know that you can do it. I might just put this little gizmo on it, 73, because, hang on. I don't think they have any systems other than the 4+ invulnerable save, which makes sense to put the shield generator on, but crisis suits, crisis suits, crisis suits, crisis suits. Where have you gone? There you are. Yeah, see, they just go for a little doodad. If you were prepared to laugh in the face of late-stage capitalism, would you dust off your credit card for a Lord of Change or Ionis Cryptborn? Always. Definitely. My credit card is not dusty. My credit card gets used way too much. Hey, Simeon. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a doodad on it. Just for the sake of it, not gonna. I'm just gonna put a doodad on it. Screw it. It's my models. I can do what I want. One little doodad. Here we go. But I have a Lord of Change, and I've already done Ionis Cryptborn. So I've got a Lord of Change spare to do Kairos Fate Weaver. So I'm just kind of waiting for when the Demons Codex looks like it's on the horizon, and then when it is on the horizon, I will have a horrible week where I do Rotigus, Shalaxi, and Kairos Fate Weaver, because it feels appropriate to do all of them, because we've already done Scarbrand. One doodad applied. There we go. Joe Coles' only feat. Thank you very much for the 99p. And for the devil sticker. There we go. We built a Crisis Battlesuit. There are 2 more to build, which will obviously also be with Fusion Blasters, because that's how we build them now. But you guys will be pleased to hear that I actually have an additional 9 in another box. So that's exciting. I have many Crisis suits. So I was going. In fact, let me pull my phone up. So. Things that I have left to go. So what I have in my possession right now is 2 Cold Star Commanders. This is all to build, by the way. 2 Cold Star Commanders. The commemorative ethereal, courtesy of Mr. PT13. He got that for me. It's very kind of him. We've got a Kroot War Shaper, which you've seen in the video on Saturday. A Flesh Shaper, which you've seen on the video on Saturday. The 20 Kroot Carnivores, 10 Kroot Farstalkers, 3 Kroot Rampagers, and Mr. the Krootox Rider, this guy that I've been working on. I've got a Storm Surge left to paint, and then I've got 40 more Strike Team / Breachers. I've got 6 more Stealth Suits, 10 Pathfinders, 12 Crisis Suits, all in all, 3 Broadsides. And once that's all done, plus the millions of drones that needs to go with that, there will be 4,000 points. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. So there, from the Kroot box, my intention is, of course, to do everything. So Kroot Carnivores, Kroot Rampages, Kroot Rider, Flesh Shaper, War Shaper. All those videos will be coming out. I will put one out. I think I'm going to put one out tomorrow. Hello, Chris from Ohio. Mr. Josh, any more thoughts on Salute? I can't remember where I got to with that. Salute 2024. Where is it? And also, when is it? 13th of April. Oh, I might have something already on that weekend. I might be able to move it, though. It's possible. It is possible. It would be fun. I'll talk to Alice. Liam might be tempted. He might not want to see me again after having only seen me next week. In fact, this time next week I'll be on my way to Liam. Do you fancy it, Adam? Do you fancy going? Should we do a road trip? Hello, Liam. He always wants to see you. I don't know. You might get bored of me, Liam, next week. We need to talk, actually, about what I'm bringing and when I'm travelling. We'll talk on Wednesday, I'm sure. Please bring the lovely Alice too. I'll see if she's available. Hot pants. Yep, I can bring those. Hot pants and a tube top. It is indeed Liam Dempsey, Mr. James Matthias. Everyone subscribe now. Everyone subscribe to Liam Dempsey. You'll get to see me play Age of Sigmar at least once with him next week. Tuesday, I think. Or Wednesday. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know what we're doing. Other than that, I'm going to be wearing hot pants, apparently. Thought that was Joe's uniform. It is Joe's uniform. Joe will also be wearing hot pants. We'll do it together. Will you be playing live? I will indeed. I'm going to take 2 armies with me, I think, because I don't know if we're going to play twice, Liam. But I might bring 2 armies with me. Also, you need to let me know if there's any Sylvaneth stuff I need to bring with me to help you round out an army. Or I can just assume and bring stuff. I'm going to take Flesh Eater Courts and possibly Stormcast Eternals as well. Because you can't kick off your AOS experience with her. Or I could bring Slaves to Darkness, to be fair. I sadly don't have enough to do at Ogres and Dwarfs. Joe always wears denim cut-offs. Man is a never nude. I have heard that about him. Oh, guys, you've crushed it. 111 likes. You're the best. We got over 100 likes. Bring RK on. I'm going on the train, remember. I only have 2 arms. We've crushed the likes, guys. Well done. Someday we'll do a stream that hits 200. But for that, I think we need to be sort of pushing towards 100,000 subscribers. Or I just need to be a better streamer. One of the two. You're taking a train to play AOS with Liam. That sounds like a joy-filled day trip. It is. It is going to be a joy-filled day trip. I do still need to build my Nighthaunt, but the spindly bits scare me. They are scary to build. But you can do it. I believe in you. Nighthaunt are really cool. We still haven't had Pyre and Flood. That's the last thing that was previewed, right? From the last one. The last 3 o'clock in the morning stream. The one with the Lumineth and the fiery ghosts. Yeah. We still haven't had Pyre and Flood yet. I'm excited for it just because its name is so stupid. Pyre and Flood. Stick a band through the base, wear RK on like a fascinator. You look like you've come from the Cheltenham Festival. I've come from the Cheltenham Festival, the literary festival of the Pantheon. Haven't had the new kill team yet either. Oh yeah, what's it called? Nightmare? Is it Nightmare? The one with the Night Lords and the Mandrakes. Yeah. So it's just Nightmare and Pyre and Flood you have left to go. Iron Mud. I'm hoping on the stream we get some more dumb names. Honestly, I don't know what it is about Pyre and Flood that just makes me laugh. It's like that. It's like I think Adam was saying the other night. It's like they have a list of 1,000 keywords, and they just have a D66 system where they just go, "Yep, Pyre and Flood, that'll do." Not Fire and Blood? No, we've done that already. Can't have two things so often that are called Fire and Blood. Pyre and Flood, that'll do. Pyre and Flood. It's basically like, in my mind, it's like, was it initially called Hot and Wet? But you can't call a product that, because that would be awful. Plump and juicy. That would work. Surely that would work if it was... No. You could do Nurgle versus Gore Grunters. Kill Team Moist Murder. Can't call it Flaming Sharks because that just sounds like a single model. It does, yeah. Have you seen the new Flaming Sharks for Ideneth? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, guys, it is 7:25. We've got like 10 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions or things they want to know about the new T'au Codex? Also, any other questions about anything else? By all means, ask away. And if anybody has the desire to become a member or to gift some membership so that we can get ourselves to that 400, that nice round 400, now is the time to do so. We're on an unlucky number of 13. Makes me think I'm going to stab my toe. We've had 13 new members today. That I'm going to stub my toe when I stand up. So maybe I'll never stop. Maybe I'll just sit here for the rest of the time. Would you do some videos for the different T'au schemes? Yeah. So my plan is to do a for the crisis suits at least, is to do Farsight, T'au Sept, and Viola. For the Fire Warriors, because I've got so many of them, I can probably do some of the other ones like Sasea and stuff like that. So, so yeah, I've got loads of T'au models. We can definitely do it. Colonel, thank you very much for the one gifted member. You're a hero. 13 is your lucky number, James. You are blessed by the gods. Oddly, my unlucky number is 17. 17 for some reason just doesn't vibe with me. What do I have to sacrifice my soul to be able to paint T'au with contrast and not cry? Well, I will come up with some videos for you, Stick Monkey, to make it nice and easy. Adam banging out the 10 straight there like an absolute boss. Thank you. What a hero. You need to tell me what you want for your birthday, Adam. All your sons were born on the 13th. And you got married on the 13th. A PS5. You want a PS5? So guys, Adam wants a PS5 for his birthday, so we're not leaving until we get like 400 or 500 gifted members. Hi Lord of Terror, thank you very much for becoming a member. That is very, very kind of you. And then he has to wait until next month after YouTube pays me. I'm currently following Deathwing scheme. What paint do you use to clean up the Seraphim Sepia base coat, i.e. where I've had too much pooling? Alright, so yeah, Dale, so Screaming Skull. Screaming Skull will just clean it up nicely. Just make sure you thin it down. Because I'm pretty certain in the in that video, let me just check it. Warhipster, Deathwing. Deathwing Knights, there you are. Do I highlight it with... Oh, I love this song. This is one of my favorites on the playlist. Yeah, I highlight it with Screaming Skull, but Screaming Skull can be used to just clean it up if you have too much pooling. If that's not quite dark enough for you, you can use like Morghast Bone is a little bit too dark for it, but Ushabti Bone just about works. Essentially it's like, what's the Oh, I did use Screaming Skull in it. Yeah, Screaming Skull. Hang on, I need to... Let me just hear this bit. Oh God, go away. Yeah. Yeah, Screaming Skull. Screaming Skull. Ideal over Seraphim Sapia. Have a good one, Chris. I've taken such a long break from painting Bilal that I forgot what colour I used for his inner cloak. Is there an easy way to figure it out without messing up my model? Yeah, best way to do it, take a sprue, an old sprue, and spray it with the same primer that you used for Belial, and then you can just test colours on the sprue. Best way to do it. Always best way to do it. Or if you've got spare bases lying around, that also works. Yeah, it's at the, Dale, it's at the roughly 28-minute mark. 27... Yeah, so I do some correcting in there. So all that done, we've done quite a few of the highlights now, so what we're going to do is going to do a bit of a corrective layer, but also a little bit of a kind of highlight, a little bit of a relayer. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Screaming Skull, and we're going to use this now to smooth out any mistakes we might have made on there. For example, so round about the 27 minutes and 30 seconds mark in the Deathwing Knights video, I use Screaming Skull to correct it. James Matthias, thank you very much for the 10 gifted members. There you go. You've taken us over. That puts us on 408. No, not 108. 408. I can't type. Were there any questions that I missed? Is Kroot Hammer a viable army? Yes, it is, Castellan. It's a very different way of playing. Very, very different way of playing the game. It's more akin to, if you recall, the 120, 160 Plague Bearers list from 8th edition. It's all about board control, speedy movement, this, that, and the other. So the Kroot, for example, they pretty much all have some form of scout maneuver. So in fact, what we'll do is we'll just very quickly talk about Kroot. So Kroot, as an army, the Kroot hunting pack. Here you go. Let me just pop over to this one. So Kroot hunting pack, the rules you get: each time a Kroot model from your army makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll if the target of that attack is below its starting strength, and add 1 to the wound roll as well if the target of that attack is below half strength. And then skirmish fighters, Kroot models from your army have a 6+ invulnerable save against melee attacks and a 5+ invulnerable save against ranged attacks. And if you select this detachment, Kroot carnivore units from your army have the battle line keyword. That's the first part. That's it. It's important. So you can take a pile of Kroot. Now, the thing with Kroot carnivores, there we go, is that they have a scout move of 7 inches and they have stealth, which is very nice. At the end of your command phase, if this unit is within range of an objective marker you control, that objective marker remains under your control, even if you have no models within range of it until your opponent controls it at the start or end of any turn. Wow, the camera was freaking out just for a second there. You can take them in units of 20, and if this unit has a starting strength of 20, you can attach up to 2 leader units, but you cannot duplicate them. But you wouldn't want to anyway, because there's no point. Their weapons aren't much to write home about, but, you know, 6+ save, but they're always on their invuln. OC2, very important. 7-inch move, and a scout move of 7 inches. They have the grenades keyword as well, which is good. Weapons, Kroot rifle, rapid fire, and then in melee, close combat weapon, 2 attacks each, 3+ strength 4, AP nothing, damage 1. Now, when you look at these guys, Kroot Warshaper, there he is. You can attach 2 of these, remember. So he gives you them Infiltrators, Leader, Scout 7+, and Stealth. Once per battle round, 1 unit from your army with this ability can be targeted with a stratagem for 0 CP, even if another unit from your army has already been targeted with that stratagem this phase. So that's really good. And then Root of Honor. Once per battle at the start of any phase, you can select 1 friendly Kroot unit that is battle shocked, and within 12 inches of this model, that unit is no longer battle shocked. Hey! So that's nice, isn't it? Again, his weapons are fine. I went for the Dart Bow and Tri-Blade. Anti-infantry 3+, assault heavy, you know, all that good stuff. Again, AP, quite hard to come by here. Kroot Flesh Shaper. Now, this is the other one you attach to the same unit. Again, Infiltrators. It's nice. Whilst this model is leading a unit, models in that unit have the Feel No Pain 6+ ability. If that unit destroys 1 or more enemy units in the fight phase until the end of the battle, models in that unit have the Feel No Pain 5+ ability instead. So that's pretty good. And melee weapons have sustained hits 1, so that makes them a little bit more deadly. Then if we quickly just bump back to the Kroot hunting pack, join the hunt. 1 Kroot infantry or Kroot hounds unit from your army that was just destroyed. You can use the stratagem on that unit even though it was just destroyed. 2 CP. So you just bring it back. It doesn't return the characters, but it does return the Kroot. Now, the last piece of this puzzle is the points. Kroot Carnivores, 85 points for 10, 170 points for 20. And then the characters are all like 60. So 125 for a War and a Flesh Shaper, plus that is 295 points. And you can do that 3 times over. So before you've even crossed over 1,000 points, you've got 60 models with 2 characters leading each. It's very, very good. Good evening, Mini Painting Dad. So yeah, that's 1,000 points of your list already. You can then use the Trail Shaper to lead the Farstalkers. So you can take 3 units of them as well. So, and that means everything's being led by a character at that point. And the Farstalkers are like 105 points, something like that. Farstalker Kimbat, 105 points plus a Trail Shaper for 155. So for 160 points, that's another 11 models. And you times that by 3, 160, 220, 320, 480. So again, yeah. So you can take 3. They've got the rule of 3, right? So you can take 3 War Shapers and 3 Flesh Shapers, attach them to 3 units of 20 Carnivores. You can then take 3 Trail Shapers with 3 units of Farstalker Kimband. Or you could attach them to Kroot Carnivores as well if you wanted to just have more blocks of Kroot Carnivores. The Rampages are okay. The Lone Spear is very good, so you'll probably want 3 of them. And the Kroot Riders are pretty good. So you know, there's a load of really good stuff in there. I think there was another question that I missed from Justin Ward. What is the preferred membership that supports the channel? Patreon, YouTube, or Patreon, whichever's better for you. It's you know, whichever you prefer. I get supported either way. It's very generous of you if you do. I really appreciate it. It applies to characters if they're not unique or epic heroes, and because none of them are named, they're just boggo characters. You can take 3 of them. What you can't do is take 3 Commander Farsights. I'll tell you what the Trail Shaper does. So the Trail Shaper Once per turn, when an enemy unit ends a normal advance or fall back, move within 9 inches of this model's unit. If this model's unit is not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, it can make a normal move of up to d6 inches. So you've got more move blocking or running away there. And Kroot Ambush. After both players have deployed their armies and determined who has the first turn, you can redeploy this model's unit and one other friendly Kroot unit when doing so. So any of those units can be placed into strategic reserves, regardless of how many units are already in strategic reserves. So you can forward deploy them because he's got infiltrators. You can put them with the Kimband or some carnivores, and then when your opponent stacks up to kill them, you just whip them right off the board. The Lone Spear, as another example, the Lone Spear, he's bonkers good. So he's a lone op, scout 7-inch move, and stealth as well. He's toughness 5, 12-inch move, 5+ save, 6 wounds, leadership 7+, OC 2. Ranged weapons, he can either have the blast javelin or the Kroot long gun. The melee weapons, close combat weapon, hunting javelin, or Calamandra's bite. He's equipped with a Kroot long gun and a close combat weapon and Calamandra's bite. But if you replace the blast, you can replace the blast javelin with the hunting javelin. You can replace the long gun with one blast javelin and one hunting javelin. Each time this model makes a ranged attack that hits an enemy unit until the end of the turn, each time another Kroot model from your army makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, you can re-roll the hit roll. In your shooting phase after this model is shot, if it is not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, it can make a normal move up to 6 inches. If it does, until the end of this turn, this model is not eligible to declare a charge. So they're very good, the Lone Spears. They're not out yet. And I don't know when they're coming out, but they're very, very good. The Tau detachments, do they have restrictions on what you can include, or it's only about stratagems? There's no restrictions in them, though. Some are keyed towards better things, so like Retaliation Cadre is all about battlesuits, but Montcar and Calyon, no restrictions. The only restriction is you can't, in the book, as far as I can remember, is Farsight and Ethereals cannot be in the same army. Do they have alternative colour schemes for the Kroot in the book? Yeah, there's a number of them all kind of hanging around. So let me just... Yeah, so look, like there's some Kroot. There's the box art ones. More box art ones. More different colours. Just there and there. More Kroot there. More Kroot there. Yep, there's some green ones. See if there's any more. Yeah. No, there aren't any more that I could see. But, as you can see, Kroot, very viable as a game, as an army build. They're very viable. They're very cool as well. So I would recommend checking them out because they're very, very good and a lot of fun. Coming up tomorrow will either be a War Shaper or Flesh Shaper video. It does for the battle suits and stuff. It does Lil Mayros for the combat patrol. Anyway, coming up, we have the Lone Shaper, not Lone Shaper, I don't have that. We have the War Shaper, and we have the Flesh Shaper. We have this guy who I have been working on today. I need to just do the gold and the little freehand on the top of his quills, and then he's finished, and some gems. But we have the Kroot Rider. That's on its way. Then we will have a tutorial for carnivores, and we will also have a tutorial for the Kroot rampagers as well. So it's all coming. It's all coming over the next couple of weeks. Don't you worry about that. And I'll even see if I can find the time to build some more, or do the Kroot Farstalkers in a Vallejo Express Color Plus, because there was a question about whether or not I was going to do that, and I will see if I can. It's all happening, guys. Lots of Kroot videos coming. And then lots of T'au videos from me, because I'm very excited about the T'au. They're very cool. I've just got to hopefully find the time to do them between now and AOS 4 when it does drop. So yeah, should be a video tomorrow, a video on Thursday, a video on Saturday. There will be 2 live streams on Wednesday going into Thursday, because we have our usual Wednesday night stream and our Thursday stream along with Adepticon. So I hope to see you all there, or some of you there at least. Many of you will be in bed. Not to be down about how's Old World coming along. It's going to rev up again, because the orcs and goblins are on their way next week. Not from me. I don't have any orcs and goblins. But there is stuff coming. And I did manage to get a couple more skeletons done. But I'm carving out time to do Bretonians in April. So there will be many more things. 1 hour before the reveal stream? Yeah, probably. Probably about an hour before the reveal stream. So yes, guys, I'm going to redirect you over to Liam, because he's now live on his channel. So thank you very much for hanging out with me. I will see you all again tomorrow for a painting video, and I will see you on Wednesday for 2 streams and all that good stuff. Loads of content coming. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Of course, I will just say to TNT and Trash, Stick Monkey, Yamel Angmar, Daniel Talpas, Joe Cole's Only Feet, Colonel, Adam, ADR Wargaming, High Lord of Terror, and James Mathias for the gifted memberships and the donations. You guys are very, very generous. Thank you very much. See you all very soon in the next one. Love you very much. Bye for now. Have a great one. Happy Monday.